Hi there, Mosaic Kipsters. Now, I know what you're thinking. Mr. Presley, what in the world are you doing sitting in the dark? Well, friends, this week's Read Aloud book is about outer space. And I got to thinking, I wonder what it's like to be an astronaut, like the one in our Read Aloud, when they're in outer space. It seems so quiet. It seems so dark and cold. So I wanted to turn all the lights off so I could really feel like I was there. I have so many questions about outer space. What value am I using when I ask curious questions about the things I wonder about when thinking about space? Do you remember? That's right, curiosity. So my curiosity got going. And I did some research while reading our book and found some really cool pictures online about people in outer space. Do you want to see? You want to see? Okay, awesome. Let's take a look at a couple of these pictures before we start our book today. Take a look at this one. This is a picture someone took from a place on the International Space Station. Now, the International Space Station is this big spaceship orbiting or going around our planet Earth. And this astronaut here, well, she's sitting in a really special place in the space station called the cupola. Here's another picture of it. Say that word with me. Cupola. Say it again. Cupola. The cupola is this really cool spot that they put on the space station where astronauts can go and relax and look back at the Earth. Can you imagine that? We sit on Earth and we look at the moon and how amazing that looks. Can you imagine being in space and looking back at the Earth? It'd be a pretty amazing place to sit, don't you think? Well, the main character in our book today, she's a real person. Take a look. There she is right there. Her name is Mae Jemison. And she was the first African-American female astronaut and the first African-American female to actually go to space. An astronaut is someone who studies and goes to outer space. Almost 20 years ago, she traveled on the space shuttle. You can see it pictured right here. And even though it doesn't have a cupola like the space station does, it had a ton of windows. So we know that Mae was able to see the Earth from outer space. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about Mae in a second. But first, let's review our book from last week. Last time we were together, we read Julian is a mermaid, and we talked about the value of joy. Do you remember the hand motions that go with it? Yeah, that's it. At Mosaic Primary, we bring joy. And we use these hands to remind us of the rays of the sun. We said that joy is a lot like the sun. It's a feeling of happiness. It gives us warmth. We feel really alive. Remember, what did Julian do to feel joy and to bring joy in his life? Yeah, you're right. He dressed up like a mermaid. He imagined that he lived under the sea with other mermaids. We said that at Kip Mosaic Primary, every day, we bring joy, just like Julian. Did you find something that brought you joy last week? I hope you did. I hope you did. This week, we're going to read a book called Mae Among the Stars. And there's a picture of the main character right there, Mae Jemison. We just saw a photograph of her a second ago. Now, there are lots of values that we can learn from the life of Mae Jemison and from this book. The one I really want to focus on today, the one I want to teach you a little bit more about, is the value of grow. At our school, at Kip Mosaic Primary, we say that as a team and family, we grow. We do our arms like this to remind us that we can get bigger and better and stronger every day. We also have the logo of the butterfly. You know, Mosaic Primary, our school logo is one of a butterfly. And the butterfly is an amazing creature, especially when we think about the value of grow. Because did you know this, that when butterflies start out, they're actually caterpillars. And they look so different than what they actually become. So whenever we see the logo of the butterfly, we can be reminded that even though we may look like what we do right now, maybe we can only do certain things. If we work hard, if we believe in ourselves, we can change so much as we grow, just like the butterfly changes so much during its life. Now, what does it take to grow? Well, some things just happen on their own, right? You get taller. Have you ever noticed maybe as it's getting kind of warm out, you're putting some of your clothes on like that you wore last summer, and you notice, wait a second, this t-shirt doesn't fit anymore. Well, that's because you're growing. And as kids, we grow a lot. But to grow our mind and our heart, which are the things that we really focus on at KIPP Mosaic Primary, we have to do more than just hope to grow. We have to believe in our heart that we can get better. And even when things get tough, we have to believe in ourselves that if we work hard and we ask for help and we keep going, that we can grow too. Mae Jemison is a great example of this. Here are the questions that I want us to be thinking about as we read our book today. Remember, as good readers, we stop a lot and we ask questions about what we're reading. So the first guiding question is, how does Mae show the value of grow? And the second question, we're going to stop at these pages, pages 27 through 28, and answer, how does Mae feel on these pages? What in the story makes you think that? Good readers use something called evidence from the words they read or the pictures and the illustrations they see to answer questions about how characters feel, sometimes called characters' emotions. You ready to jump in? Okay, I know I am too. This week's book is Mae Among the Stars, written by Roda Ahmed and illustrated by Stasia Burrington. All right, here we go. Mae Among the Stars. Little Mae was a dreamer. They say that daydreamers never succeed, but little Mae was different. One day, Mae was working on an assignment for school about what she wanted to be when she grew up. What will you tell them, Mae? I will tell them that I want to see Earth. This is Earth, Mae, her mother said. The flowers, the grass, the forest, and the mountains. We live on Earth. I know, Mae said. I want to see the Earth from out there. She's pointing. Yeah, she's pointing up into outer space, into the moon and the stars. That's an amazing plan, little Mae. And you have to become an astronaut. That way, you can see Earth from space. Astronaut? Asked Mae. Do you think I could do that? Of course you can. If you can dream it, if you believe it, and work hard for it, anything is possible. Now, this is a really important phrase, so I want you to repeat after me. If you can dream it, if you believe it, and work hard for it, anything is possible. Let's see if that comes back in the story. Mae asked her mom to take her to the library. She searched for books about space and astronauts. Wow, look at her being so curious, grabbing these books, all of these books, to learn more about outer space and becoming an astronaut. After dinner, Mae drew pictures of space, and she even made her own astronaut costume out of old orange curtains and cardboard boxes. Later, she asked her dad, "But how do I become an astronaut? It seems impossible." You will find your way, Mae, because if you dream it, believe in it, and work hard for it, anything is possible. Whoa, did you hear that? It's the same phrase from earlier. But space is so far away. It's closer than you think, little Mae, and you may get there sooner than you think, her dad said. That night, Mae had a happy dream. She was dancing in space, surrounded by billions of sparkling stars. Below her, she could see Earth floating and turning like a shining crystal ball. This reminds me a lot of that picture of the astronauts in the cupola looking down at Earth. The next morning, Mae told her parents about her dream. She wanted to tell everyone. Looks like there she's telling her grandma. And every time she talked about it, her eyes would light up. I wonder what value Mae is showing right now. She gets excited. Her eyes light up when she feels so alive. Which value is it? Yeah, did you say joy? It's exactly right. She's bringing joy. Wow, Mae has so much to teach us. In the classroom, Miss Bell told everyone to stand in a line on the rug. Today, we are all going to share our dreams about the future. What do you want to be? And what do you want to do when you grow up? Who wants to go first? Let's see what her classmate said. I want to be a firefighter, says this friend. I want to be a teacher. Football player. I want to be a mom. Oh, here's me. I want to go to space. I want to be an astronaut. All the kids started laughing. That's not nice. Miss Bell asked, Mate, are you sure you don't want to be a nurse? Nursing would be a good profession for someone like you. I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be an astronaut. Ooh, here's our page 27 and 28. Remember our question. How does Mae feel on pages 27 and 28, and what in the story makes us think that? Let's give it a read. Mae felt very disappointed. On her way home from school, Mae was quiet. She looked out the car window. The world turned blue and cold. Nothing was the way it used to be. So let's take a second and think. How does Mae feel on pages 27 and 28? And what in the story makes us think that? Good readers pay attention to the words, and they pay attention to the pictures and the illustrations, if we have them, to try to figure out what's going on, and in this case, how our character is feeling. So the words are telling us that Mae felt very disappointed. Disappointed is another word for sad. When you think something's going to happen, like Mae being so excited about being an astronaut, and then someone saying, oh, well, no, you should be a nurse instead. So we know from the words that Mae feels disappointed. She's looking out the car window. She was really quiet. Sometimes when you feel sad, maybe you're just looking out the window and you don't really want to say or talk to anyone. Do you notice something else going on with the illustrations? What colors do you see on this page? I see some blues and kind of gray, almost like it's black and white, right? Watch this. The page before. Now look at this page. Did you see that difference? Let's look one more time. Wow, it's bright and colorful. Oh, wow. I wonder why the illustrator would do that. Well, if the author and the illustrator want to show that Mae is sad, then I would say with the colors, they did a really great job. I'm feeling like the colors are bright and wonderful, and here it's kind of sad and blue and gray. So let's think back. Let's put all of those ideas together and put it into an answer. How does Mae feel, and what in the story makes us think that? Well, these words tell us that Mae feels disappointed, sad, and upset. The author used words like disappointed and showed us that Mae was quiet and she looked out the car window. It says that the world turned cold and blue for her. I also know this because the illustrations changed from being colorful and happy to kind of dark and sad. Let's see what happens. Mae was living at a time where teachers and all kinds of people would look at a girl like her, a young black girl, and say, well, an astronaut might not be something you can do. But her parents and those that really loved her and knew her for who she was kept believing. Let's see what they did. At home, Mae started crying. Miss Bell said I can't become an astronaut. What a silly thing to say, said her mother. She told me I should be a nurse instead, said Mae. Mom wiped away her tears. My dear Mae, I hope you didn't believe her. But of course I believed her. She's my teacher. Ugh, I'm so sorry Miss Bell didn't encourage you, but she can't stop you. No one can stop you. Follow your dream, Mae, and go to space. Thank you, Mom. I promise when I get to space, I will wave to you and Dad from the spaceship. Her mom took her hand and they started dancing. You must always repeat to yourself. Let's say it. I'll say it, and then you say it after me. If I can dream it, if I can believe in it, and if I work hard for it, anything is possible. Mae went on dreaming, believing, and working really hard. And guess what? She went to space and waved to her mom and dad on Earth. The end. Check this picture out. This is so cool. This is a real life picture of Mae Jemison in her spacesuit, getting ready, having other astronauts help her with her suit as she gets ready to go on her space trip. So let's go back to our first guiding question and think a little bit more. How does Mae show the value of growth? Well, we see that Mae got better, right? She started off as just a young girl who was dreaming about going to space and then actually went to space. But what were one of the keys? Remember that phrase that they said over and over again in the story? Remember? If I can dream it, if I can believe in it, and I work hard for it. Mae shows the value of grow by never giving up. She believed that she could be an astronaut, that she could get better, even when other people like her teacher, Miss Bell, said, oh, nah, you can't be an astronaut. She still did. We can all be like Mae. So when we think about the value of grow, when we think at KIPP Mosaic Primary that we grow, we can also think about Mae Jemison. You ready for your challenge? Here's your challenge. Just like in her class, I want to know what you want to do when you grow up. I want you to take a picture of you dressed up as the profession you want to do when you grow up and become an adult. Just like Mae did, imagining herself as an astronaut. Have your family member take that picture and share it on our Facebook page. I also have my phone number you can text it to, or my email address that you can email it to. Anyone who participates this week will go into a drawing for a free pizza delivery. So let's see what you got. It was so good seeing you again. This was an amazing book that teaches us so much about the value of grow. I hope you are doing well. We'll see you so soon. Take care, Mosaic Kipsters. We'll see you soon.